Stephen Jimmy Jamieson is understood to have confronted Dubai-based Mr. Big Ross McGill.
Clashed in a luxury gym deep in the heart of Dubai.
It was the 10th of July, 2025. Just another day at Dubai's fanciest gym. Then the gangster and drug dealer from Glasgow, Jimmy Jamieson, walked in. And to his surprise, he saw a familiar face in there. It was Ross Miami McGill, another drug lord, lifting weights in the gym. Looking at him there, Jamieson's blood boiled with rage. Jamieson stormed across that gym floor and lunged at McGill. The staff rushed over and desperately tried to pull the two men apart as Jamieson threw punches at McGill. It took several people to finally separate them. So, why did Jimmy attack him? There was no bad blood between them before. Both had fled to Dubai with millions in drug money. So, why did Jimmy snap seeing him there? Dubai is a fortress city, a place where you have to follow law and order with. There is no extradition treaty to the UK, and the city has a reputation for keeping foreign problems out of sight, which is why it has become the safe haven of choice for Europe's most wanted. Drug lords, gang bosses, and fraudsters come here to hide from the law. That's exactly why both Jimmy Jamieson and Ross Miami McGill ended up here. A few years ago, Jamieson knew the walls were closing in. One of his closest associates had just been caught moving a massive load of cocaine. It was the famous drug lord Jaime the Iceman Stevenson, who was caught in 2020. Border Force officers at Dover discovered over a ton of cocaine hidden inside banana boxes from Ecuador. The street value was over £100 million, and it was one of the biggest drug seizures in UK history. And while Stevenson eventually took the fall and got 20 years in prison, the spotlight turned to everyone connected to him, including Jamieson. Now, Jamieson had already done time before. In 2009, he was sentenced to 8 years for cocaine supply, and although he got out early, he stayed on the radar. After the banana bust, he heard the rumors that he was next. This was why Jamieson made a quiet exit. He landed in Dubai. McGill was also on the radar. He had skipped a court appearance over a prior drug-related case, so he vanished. By 2022, he was quietly living in Dubai, far from the Glasgow streets he once ran. And at first, McGill did just that. He kept a low profile. Jamieson and McGill were never good friends, but insiders revealed that once Jamieson said, "Ross McGill has my full backing," then McGill made a mistake. While McGill was laying low, he agreed to a major cocaine deal. He was supposed to sell 5 kilos of cocaine in exchange for £500,000. The buyer came through a middleman from Edinburgh, and everything looked normal at first, but when the payment arrived, McGill realized he had been ripped off. The entire $500,000 was fake cash. And the person behind it was Michael Heaps, a known enforcer for Edinburgh drug boss Mark Richardson. Even though Heaps was behind bars at the time, he had arranged the whole thing through the middleman, someone McGill had trusted. Now, McGill wanted payback, and he didn't just blame the men who handed him the fake money. He blamed everyone involved, including Richardson himself. And that was the last time anyone in that deal slept peacefully. From his apartment in Dubai, he activated his crew back home. The Tamo Junto Gang, or TMJ. First, they tracked down the middleman who had fled to Thailand. He was snatched off the street and slashed across the face in a brutal daylight attack. But that wasn't enough. McGill believed the entire scam had been signed off by Richardson himself. And that meant war. In March 2025, TMJ launched a string of firebombings and shootings across Edinburgh and East Lothian businesses, and homes linked to Richardson's crew went up in flames. TMJ didn't care about collateral. If your name, your cousin, or your postcode was connected to Richardson, you were fair game. And they didn't stop there. The campaign expanded to Glasgow. The gang targeted homes tied to the powerful Daniel crime family, who were longtime rivals of Richardson. TMJ firebombed the homes of Bonzo Daniel's sister, his uncle, and even his brother. The violence was increasingly reckless. They even raided the wrong house in Milton. Inside were a 72-year-old woman and a 12-year-old boy. Both were assaulted. Back in Dubai, Jamieson was watching this all happening. He had been living a quiet life in Dubai. Like many other high-profile criminals, he had gone underground to stay off the radar completely. Dubai offered that kind of protection. As long as these ex-gangsters kept their heads down and didn't cause trouble, they were left alone. But McGill was breaking that rule. His actions back in Scotland were making international headlines, and it was all being traced back to him, and worse, to Dubai, where he was now hiding. That put pressure on everyone else living there in secret, including Jamieson. If the police in Dubai started noticing one gangster causing problems, they would start looking closer at all of them. And once that happened, anyone living in the shadows, no matter how quietly, was at risk of being exposed, arrested, or kicked out. Jamieson saw it coming, and when he spotted McGill in that gym, he finally snapped, and we cannot blame him for that. McGill was not just raising hell in Scotland, he had started violence in other parts of the world as well, with other gangs. On May 31st this year, a double murder shocked Spain's Costa del Sol. Ross Monaghan and Eddie Lyons were both linked to the Lyons crime family of Glasgow. They were watching the Champions League final at Monan's Irish bar in Fuengirola while a hitman entered the bar and gunned them down. They didn't see it coming. The hitman walked in and opened fire, execution style. Both died on the spot. Spanish police linked the hit to Glasgow's Gangland scene, and one of the suspects was Ross McGill. It's because McGill's crew had just finished torching properties across Scotland, attacking anyone connected to the rival Daniel crime family. But that wasn't the only link. One of the victims in Spain, Ross Monaghan, was a known Daniel ally, tied to years of gang feuds back in Glasgow. And the timing was suspicious. Less than 2 months earlier, TMJ had launched coordinated firebomb attacks across Edinburgh, East Lothian, and Glasgow. Then suddenly, 2 rivals dropped dead abroad. Even without hard evidence, people started suspecting McGill. Not just people, even the Spanish police suspected him. After that, something unexpected happened back in Glasgow that nobody saw coming. Bonzo Daniel, who is one of the most feared enforcers you could imagine from the Daniel crime family, actually tried to be the peacemaker in all this chaos. After all the firebombings, shootings, and that brutal double murder that everyone knew was tied to this feud, Bonzo quietly reached out, hoping to get some kind of communication going between the crews. He wanted to stop the madness before it spiraled completely out of control. This wasn't because Bonzo was getting scared or anything like that. This was pure business thinking because the Daniel crew had been taking serious hits. And McGill's Tamo Junto gang had proven they weren't following the old Glasgow street rules that everyone used to respect. Bonzo could see the writing on the wall. The longer this war dragged on, the messier it would get. And a truce might actually help calm things down, keep the police from breathing down everyone's necks, and maybe salvage what was left of the Daniel family's power in the city. Now, it is easy to think Ross McGill is just one man gone rogue. But behind the chaos he has triggered, there is something far bigger happening. Because this isn't just about fake cash or firebombed houses anymore. This has cartel fingerprints all over it, and all roads lead to Daniel Kinahan. The Kinahan cartel has been pulling strings in gang wars across Europe for over 2 decades. From Dublin to Dubai, they have built a shadow empire. The cartel has flooded the UK with cocaine by laundering money through boxing, and now investigators believe they have been quietly fueling the feud between Scotland's Lions and Daniel clans. Rumors have it that they have even helped arm and fund both sides. When 2 Lions bosses, Ross Monaghan and Eddie Lyons, were shot dead at a Spanish bar in May, some pointed fingers at McGill's crew. But others say it was Kinahan's doing, and he put the hit to add fire to the fuel. Now, authorities have not been sitting idle. Scotland's elite Operation Portaledge team has already linked McGill to TMJ's campaign of attacks, but now their focus is wider. They are coordinating with the Irish and Spanish police. And Kinahan is also on their radar. They have warned Dubai police, which is now slowly turning on its criminal guests. Because Dubai doesn't tolerate mess. For years, it let the world's biggest drug lords live lavishly under one condition, that they had to keep it clean and keep it quiet. But McGill has been breaking the rules for quite some time now. Firebombs in Scotland, shootings in Spain, a full-on gym brawl in a luxury complex. The UAE has had enough. Earlier this year, one of Kinahan's top lieutenants, Sean McGovern, was quietly extradited from Dubai to Ireland. That means the walls are closing in. And now, for men like Jamieson, who backed McGill when the war first started, the loyalty is gone. He is no longer supporting McGill because he is making it difficult for others seeking shelter in Dubai. And right now, it seems like McGill might not walk away from this one. What do you think? How is this gang war going to end? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more updates. Goodbye for now.